Stop wandering aimlessly through life. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to properly goal set. How do you set a goal for your life and how do you get there step by step? So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Damien Alvarez. I am on a self-development journey and I share all my findings with you here. So, hopefully, you could pick up a thing or two and progress alongside me. Now, before you really understand what the process of goal setting looks like, you have to understand where you are in life right now. So, if you have a constant feeling that you're drifting towards nothing, no sense of fulfillment, no sense of accomplishment in your life, no pride, that is because you don't know how to goal set. There is nothing worse than having no direction, no purpose in life, and just doing the menial tasks every single day to get by and hope for tomorrow to come. So that's where I was a while ago before I learned how to properly goal set, and I don't want you to feel that way. So I developed a little structure here on how I've goal set in my life that has given me some sense of direction, some sense of purpose, and has helped me kind of get through all the negatives, all the lows, and bring me up to the highs. The main thing that I want to touch on here today is that without having a goal set for your future, you're just constantly scrambling around with no real objective and no real, I guess, backbone to your goals. You need to have your sights set on one thing for the future, and you need to know exactly how to get there step by step. In my article, I write, it's like you're taking one step in 10 directions instead of 10 steps in one direction. Think about the difference between that. If you're taking 10 steps in one direction, you're going in a freaking circle. If you're taking 10 steps in one direction, you're on a straight line, straight path towards your goal, and that's where I hope to get you today. The truth is, the people who have taught you how to goal set in your life are probably only teaching you how to achieve goals for other people. That was something that happened in my life. I figured out that all my real goals in life were to the benefit of other people. Do this for this company, or do this for me, or learn how to progress in your career this way, or climb the ladder in your corporate job, doing this thing for this person. And it was never really any personal goals. The only personal goals that I had were goals for other people, which makes no sense. And that's kind of why I figured out that there was really no purpose in life if you don't have anything personal, if you don't have any personal goals going on in your life. So you need to learn the truth behind goal setting, what it is, how to properly utilize it, and how to best benefit in your life from it. Now, we all say that we're striving towards goals in our life, and we all have these dream lives that we want to live, but without any backbone to your goals, without any personal vendetta against them, what are you really doing to achieve them, right? If you just have this big grandiose goal of getting to 10% body fat or whatever it is, fitness is very easy to make an example out of. So say your goal is to get to 10% body fat. What are you doing every single day to achieve that goal? Are you just telling yourself that you're going to get there? Are you just saying, when people ask you where you want to be or what you want to get to, are you just saying that to kind of make yourself feel better, feel like you're going in one direction? Or are you actually taking active steps every single day? Are you actually putting the fork down? Are you actually going to the gym? Are you actually getting your diet right? You need to have daily goals and weekly goals to progress towards that thing. That's what I want to touch on here today. There's no sense of setting a goal, say I want to get $2 million in 5 years, if there's no action behind it. You have to set your life up in a way where you are achieving goals every single day, every single week, and every single month to progress towards your ultimate end goal. The sad thing about having this mental model where you are just telling yourself, telling people that you want to get towards X goal, is that sometimes you feel like you deserve to take a step back in that goal without really having a basis for it. Now, let me explain with an example for you. So say, keep it basic, keep it with fitness. Say you want to lose 10 pounds this summer. If you want to lose 10 pounds this summer, you're telling everyone, yeah, no, end of summer, I'm going to be 10 pounds lighter. I'm, eating right. I'm eating salads. I'm going to the gym. But if you're not actually doing that, you're just saying that you want to lose 10 pounds this summer and, telling people that that's what it's going to be and telling yourself and hypnotizing yourself with that goal, but you're not actually doing anything towards it. Sometimes you take steps backwards because you feel like you deserve it, right? So for example, like I said, fitness, if you feel like you deserve that dessert at the end of the day or at the end of the week or that cheat meal when you haven't really done anything to progress towards your goal, you're only taking steps back and nothing, no steps taken forward. So you can't have the mental model where you aren't, actioning your goals and putting effort towards actually achieving them and just telling people that you are. It's a negative way to go through life. You're never going to get where you want to go. You're going to feel like you're aimlessly just wandering through life, going from place to place, and you're never going to have any sense of accomplishment or pride in your life. Now, this isn't all your fault, by the way. There's a whole industry of people, I'm sure you've seen them online, who make millions of dollars a month off of giving you kind of the dream outcome and never giving you any action steps to take towards it. We've all bought courses online. We've all followed those fake gurus who kind of show us how to do something in the right direction, but they don't ever actually give us actionable things to do it, right? There's a bunch of scams online, and I'm not saying that course sellers or gurus are bad people. But a lot of them you have to be very careful with because they just sell you the outcome, and they're very good at sales, 100% very good at sales. They are salespeople by nature, so they can make a lot of money by convincing you to do things you don't want to do. But it makes you feel like you have no sense of accomplishment when you follow these people's advice. A lot of times, like I said, they're just selling you the dream outcome. They're not really giving you actionable steps to pursue or to get to where they're trying to sell you. They just want to sell you on the front end and make that grandiose life seem like it's easy to get when it's not. There's an industry, they make like I said, millions and millions of dollars off of people just like you who have dreams and aspirations and want to get there and want to take steps, and they make you feel like you're taking an action step by buying their course or getting in their mentorship or joining the group or watching videos on YouTube. When in reality, they just give you fluff and they don't really give you anything to progress towards your goals actually from. So not your fault, but we have to learn how to actually goal set, how to take actionable steps in our life, and how to track progress so we know that we're headed in the right direction. That's what I'm here to do today for you. Now, directly out of my article, I say, imagine waking up each day, smashing your checklist out of the park, fulfilling all your duties with ease, and going to bed knowing you took a step closer to the life you want to live. Isn't that what we all want? Essentially, in life, that is what we all want to do. We want to wake up, tell our mind we're going to do something, do it that day, and feel a sense of accomplishment. We don't have to, close that client. We don't have to make that money. We don't have to, get the end goal. But just waking up and feeling like we have a sense of accomplishment is one of the things that we all strive for in life. This is why corporate jobs are so soul-sucking and so they, get you on the train of accomplishment. And you do great in your corporate job and you do great for working for other people. But it doesn't really give you any personal sense of satisfaction because you're never taking steps towards your personal goals in life. And maybe that's different. This is just my outlook on it, but that's just how I feel about, that whole thing in general. So now we're going to move into the 3 steps to proper goal setting that I've laid out in my life, kind of a framework, 3 general buckets of things that I want you to start doing or to do today to start taking steps towards your life. Now, before we get started, I want to set a precedent here for you. A lot of this stuff is mental. I know people say it all the time and people kind of use it as an excuse not to give you real information, but through my own finding and through my own discovery of this whole topic, I've realized that a lot of goal setting, a lot of, discipline things that you want to do, or a lot of just achieving in life is all mental. The technical advice that people give you is, valid, and you should take that. And that is very important to get down. But a lot of it is just you versus yourself. A lot of it is just you're in your own way all the time. You don't really know how to get past that, and when something is not working for you, you just want to give up, and all the mental battles that you're fighting every single day are the main reason why setting goals and smashing them out of the park is so hard, because it is a mental battle. You're going to wake up every single day and progress towards this thing, and sometimes that thing might take you 5 years to get to. It's hard to grasp that your dream life or the thing you want to get to, your goal, may be 10, 20, or even 30 years away from where you are now. It's it's incomprehensible to the human mind and to just think on that large of a time frame, but that's what you have to do in order to properly goal set and to achieve where you want to go in life. So the first step I have for you here is to vividly picture your dream life. Close your eyes, vividly picture your dream life. Where do you want to be in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years? What do you want to be doing? You want to be living on the West Coast, the East Coast, in Europe, in Australia? Do you want to be working for yourself? Do you want to be a CEO of your company? Do you want to be a manager? What do you want to be doing? What car do you want to be driving? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Who do you want to have in your life? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to have this? You have to vividly picture your dream life. This is where the concept of vision boards has its place. Now, personally, I don't really have one. I don't really do that because I think that it's kind of corny, but if it's a good practice for you, it's a good practice, right? I totally get the thing behind it, the idea behind a vision board, because it allows you to vividly and systematically picture your dream life and put it all together for you. It is the most important step. It is the number one thing you want to do. If you want to get anywhere in life, you have to vividly imagine where you want to be at certain thresholds in your life. Now, the second thing I have for you is once you completed step 1 and you have your dream life laid out, you need to sit there and realize that you are absolutely fucking delusional. But that's okay. That's the whole part of the exercise, the whole part of the process. You need to realize that your dream life is so out of touch with where you are now that it's going to take you years and years and years to get to. And that's okay. That is the whole point of this exercise. Your dream life is going to be extremely out of touch for where you are right now. The person you are cannot accomplish those goals. The person that you are right now is nowhere near the person you need to become in order to get that dream life. But that's okay, because you need to be working every day towards becoming the person that can have that dream life. That was the big realization for me. If I was the type of person that could be living on the beach, be living in Bali, be, doing whatever the dream life of the typical people are, I would already be doing that. Goals don't just come. They only come to people who deserve them. And the person you are now does not deserve where you want to be. And that's okay because you can work towards it every single day. You can do things every single day, action steps that take you closer to that person. And eventually you'll get there if you work hard enough. But like I said, it may take you 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years to get there. But that's okay because every single day you're going to be smashing out a new level. You're going to be, getting more experience in life. You're going to be learning new things every single day, and you're going to be slowly inching towards that person. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is that you stay where you are right now and you don't ever progress towards that person. That's probably the worst thing you can do. Just realize that your dreams are so out of touch and that you stay the person you are right now, because time is going to pass either way. The 30 years is going to come by, the 40 years is going to come by, and would you rather be halfway there taking steps closer to it, or in the exact same state you are now, or even lower? The choice is clear. You just have to do things every single day that bring you closer to that thing. Now, that can be a lot of different things: psychology, self-development, actually progressing in your career, doing things every single day that bring you closer to your revenue goals, actionable steps every single day. Now, the best part about this is once you begin on your self-development journey, once you begin to start progressing towards your goals and start, making ticks on your to-do list, and once you start actually doing things, you realize that all of the fun is in the journey. And I know it's corny to say, I know people say it all the time, and it's just so facetious, but it is true. I was having a conversation the other day with one of my friends, and we were talking about, where we want to be in the future, what we want to be doing, and where we want to be at. And the topic came up of living, the best life that you can be. And the question he asked me was, if you could switch lives with Warren Buffett right now, would you? Think about that and answer that for yourself. If you could switch lives with the richest man in the world, would you do that? I said absolutely not, because all of the fun in life, all of the fun of getting to where he is right now was made in the journey, right? I guarantee if you ask Warren Buffett right now if he can trade lives with you, he absolutely would, because the fun is all in the climb. There is no fun. Well, there is fun at the top, obviously. When you reach your dream life or when you get closer to that, there's things along the way that you do that are very enjoyable, but the fun is all in the climb. Even Joe Rogan says this. I was listening to a podcast by him a few months ago, and they were talking about, how he has a bunch of cars, like collectible cars. He has a huge collection of old cars, expensive cars. And he was saying something about like how, yes, the fact that he can buy the cars is nice, but it's only nice because when he was, broke, when he was younger, he couldn't even afford to eat. I guarantee you the dopamine of the first car that he ever bought is far superior and far greater than it is to buy his 50th car. And I can personally attest to that as well. I'm telling you right now, I just closed a deal last night that was $6,000 for a new client. And the dopamine that I got from my first payment that I ever got back in August last year of $500 was tenfold it is what I got last night when I closed that $6,000 deal. So I can only imagine how it's going to be later on when, you're constantly smashing out the goals that you're setting right now. The things that seem so attainable just come to you naturally in the future. I can only imagine what it's going to feel like when I get to that point. So I compare it to like an actual video game. People say it all the time, life is like a video game, treat it as such, but it's like using cheat codes in GTA, right? You can use them and it's super fun for the first 5 minutes, but after that, it's like, what's really the point? Like I maxed out all my stats. I'm at level 100. Like I passed the whole story mode. Like there is no more fun for me. It's better to spend 15, 20 hours on the storyline than it is to flip it all in a snap of the fingers and get to the end, because the fun of being there is the climb it took you, is the hardships you went through to get there. So I think that if I've already felt this and I'm 1% of where I want to be at, and you hear it all the time across many successful people, that it rings true across the board. And once you start actually progressing towards your goals and reaching the things that you want to do and checking off milestones, you'll realize that the journey is all the fun. So it kind of gives you a perspective change of where you want to be right now. Even if you're miserable, even if you're poor, even if you're broke, just starting out, it's like enjoy every single day that you get to wake up and at least try to do something, because once you get to the top, there's a lot more stress up there, a lot more problems that you have to deal with, a lot more different things that you don't really want to deal with now. You can't even comprehend now. So you might as well enjoy the ride. You might as well live every day like it's your last. You might as well try to do things today. You might as well take that phone call or do that thing or go on that go to that meeting or do this thing, because every single day you're going to be learning something new. Every single day of the climb is where you want to be at. And I guarantee you, if you switch lives with yourself, or you see yourself in 40 years looking back on where you are exactly right now, you would do anything, you would pay any amount of money to switch lives with that person. Now, the fact of the matter is, it is perfectly okay to be delusional. Every big thinker, every vision leader of the past has had delusional dreams. Elon Musk wants to inhabit Mars, bro. Do you understand how big of a dream that is? But look at the things that he's done in his career now, and he's probably only 5% of the way there. He's invented electric cars, he has self-driving cars, he's put things in space. Like, having big aspirations is the key to achieving wonderful things in life. Even if you don't get to the very top, even if you don't accomplish 100% of what you set your mind to, even if you accomplish 10% of a crazy dream, it's going to be way more than 100% of a low dream. So set your goals high. Like they say, the corny thing, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land on the stars. It's exactly applicable here. Dream big, have a crazy goal for life. People are going to hate you for it. People are going to say that you're crazy and delusional. That's okay, because in 10 years, they're going to wish that they had the mindset that you had right now. And the third thing I have for you. So this is the technical aspect of how to actually goal set. This is the, meat and potatoes of actually what you're going to be doing to accomplish your goals. So let's get into it. Now, I firmly believe that the max outlook that a human can have for a goal is 3 years. I think 5 is too long, 10 is even longer. Think about a goal that you can set for 20 years down the line. You wouldn't even know how to start it. So I think 3 years is the perfect sweet spot. I believe that anything before that is a little bit too short, a little bit short-sighted, and it's hard to control really your future that way. But anything past that is just so far ahead in the future that you don't even know where you're going to be at. So 3 years is the perfect sweet spot. Now, you should have vague outlines of where you want to be in 10, 20, 30 years. Like I said, dream big, dream for the future. But in order to actionably get there, you need to be thinking in 3-year kind of increments. So not only 3 years, but you need to be breaking that down into 1, 2, and 3 years. So that's kind of the first step of this whole thing. Break the next 3 years of your life down into 3 buckets. So 1 year, 2 year, and then 3 year. Now, for the end of your 3-year goal, you should have a big overarching vision. This shouldn't be too specific. It should be kind of vague. For example, my big goal is to fully be working for myself, self-employment, 1. And number 2, I want to have my parents retired from my own thing. That's it. That's all the big goal is. It's not I want to be, a multimillionaire. It's not that I want to, do any of these crazy things. That's all I have. It's very simple, very vague, but it encompasses a lot of things. It's a pretty lofty goal if you think about it, but that's what it is. So you should have a 3-year goal, the big overarching goal. It's called I call it my big goal. Like I said, mine is to work for myself and to retire my parents. So write that down. Think about where you want to be at in 3 years, pretty vaguely, and have that as your big goal. Now that you have your big goal set, you need to action out all 3 of the buckets that we listed out earlier: year 1, year 2, and year 3. Now, I'm sure you've heard of it before, but we're going to be using the SMART framework to be crafting our goals. Now, if you don't know what SMART goals are, welcome to 2024. I've been hearing about SMART goals since I was probably in 4th grade. But SMART is just an acronym, SMART: specific, measurable, achievement, relevant, and time-based. If you don't know what SMART goals are, then go ahead and just Google SMART goals. There is a plethora of resources on the internet for that. I'm not going to include any more information here because it's not my idea, and there's a lot better resources out there that explain SMART goals for you. Now, for each and every year, you are going to be writing a detailed goal along with 3 key kind of drivers that you want to focus on this year. So going to get pretty personal here in this part. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly where I am headed in the next 3 years. I have done this exercise myself. Like I said, this has guided every single day of my life since I've done this. So I want to get really deep here with you guys. I want to show you exactly, where I'm going to go, so you can kind of take notes from it. You can see exactly what I'm talking about here, and we can kind of move forward together. So let me go ahead, share my screen here. Like I said, my one big goal here, my one big goal is to work for myself and to retire my parents. So I'll run you through my goals for the next 3 years here real quick. I can spend an hour in this sheet, so I won't do that, but I want to give you guys kind of a baseline of where I'm at so you can take that and apply it to yourself. So the biggest thing I'm doing in year 1 is just building my business and learning how to start an investment portfolio. That's it for year 1. 12 months to do that, I think is a good timeline for me. As far as the specific part of my goal is I'm going to be using all money outside of my living expenses to pay off my debt. So doing that through either saving or investing in assets such as Bitcoin. And then I also want to land my first IT consulting account and work to be promoted to a closer. So that's the biggest thing that I'm going to be doing in the next 12 months. Now, for measurable, I'll be tracking everything in a spreadsheet. For achievable, with my current income and where I'm at in life, with all the side stuff I'm doing, bringing in money, definitely reasonable as long as I stick to the plan and don't waste money on dumb shit, going out every single weekend or buying stupid shit, then I'll be able to do that. So as far as relevant, I have to be out of debt before I can start investing or start, seeing the benefits of that. So got to do that first. And then the biggest thing is cash flow this year while learning how to trade or start an investment portfolio. So those are the two things. And by the end of year one, I will have no debt and I'll be holding 50K in assets or in cash to start a portfolio in year two and start compounding. So year two, the biggest things I'm working on is systems management and emotional control. So I should have clients in my business by year two. By May 2025, I should be working with at least one person, and I can work on fully going into that and, scaling up into, having a team behind me and working on that. So that's the main thing. I want to increase my IT consulting counts to 10 and work full time in my business. The goal is to 2x pricing this year as well to make more money from it. And then also same thing as first year, maintain no debt, and then stack cash or buy Bitcoin, depending to build my portfolio. And then, yeah, same thing for measurable. We're going to be tracking everything in a spreadsheet. As far as achievable, use the skills I'm learning in my closing role now to sell things for my business instead, make more money through that. You can kind of read what I have going on here, pause the video and read if you want to know exactly what the plan is. But like I said, I'm not going to spend an hour here kind of going over everything that's in the spreadsheet. It'll take me too long. So as far as relevant, finding a way to automate my business through staff, becoming a better leader, becoming a better manager, a better CEO in my company, just so I can begin to scale that, as client acquisition should not be a problem in my business at this point. And then by the end of year two, by May 2026, I should have 150K in my investment portfolio, and my business should be doing over 100K in annual recurring revenue. So that's the goal for year two. Now, year three, May 2026, have 25 IT consulting accounts and have $1 million portfolio. 100% doable as long as I stick to this plan. So same thing here, sticking to the principles of business and, having a team and having client acquisition cracked. The only thing stopping me is scale at this point. So working on scaling, increasing my portfolio, still trading, still investing, and still maintaining a $0 balance, still tracking everything here. And then expand my business as well, more products, more markets, stuff like that as that comes. Like I said, you can read everything I have here if you want to read in depth about it, but I'm not going to go over everything here just because it'll take too long. So the biggest thing here, businesses, the only thing left to do with it is just scale. Learn how to scale business from mentors, masterminds. Portfolio is going to be 3x from last year, which is amazing. And hopefully by the end of year three, my portfolio will be worth over $1 million. Business will be doing over 500K in recurring revenue. Parents will be retired, living off salary I provide them. Love you guys. So that's pretty much my 3 kind of plan here, 3-year plan that I have going on. You can kind of model off this. You can go and do your own thing if you want to, whatever you want to do. I just wanted to give you guys an example of what that looks like for me. So everything you do every single day that's on your agenda should be working towards whatever year goals that you're in. So in year one, every single day, you should be taking at least one step, doing one thing every single day to progress toward your end goal in year one. That's the most important thing, breaking it up, breaking your days into days, weeks into weeks, and months into months. So you're taking constant steps towards achieving your year one goal. So ultimately, on the macro picture, progress towards your 3-year goal. So the biggest thing I want to touch on here, now that we're kind of over all the technical stuff, is that even if in 3 years you are halfway towards where your goal is, you're going to be in a 100 times better spot than you are right now in life. Just even having the vision of where you want to be in a couple of years will put you so much further ahead than the crowd. You'll no longer be thinking like how everyone else thinks. You'll have actual purpose in your life. You'll be able to do things every single day to progress towards that goal. And like I said, even if you're halfway there, even if you're 10% of the way there, in 3 years, you are going to be so much better off than if you never do this in general. Now, I want to wrap this up with a tweet that I had the other day, which I thought was an absolute banger. It just came to me when I was on a walk, and it says this: I can make one promise to you. If you live a life of mediocrity because you're scared of people calling you a dreamer, the regret on your deathbed will be far worse than the pain of judgment is now. That's all I had for you today. I hope you liked that. If you want to read the full article, first link in the description as always. Follow me on all socials at Damien Alvarez, and I will catch you guys in the next one.